Critics of this report state that our troops were not asked whether they believe that Don't Ask, Don't Tell should be repealed. Is it fair to conclude that your report does incorporate and fairly represent the views of our forces?
Senator Collins, I believe it does. We were asked not to, we were not supposed to ask the referendum question.
Right.
However, we did put out a 103-question survey to 400,000 service members. We got back 115,000 responses. The survey was quite comprehensive in asking in a number of different places for service members to predict the consequences of repeal in a variety of contexts. I would add to that in the 72,000 emails and in the 24,000 face-to-face interactions that we had, invariably the discussion and the input we got was whether to repeal the current law or not. That was always the topic of discussion.
Admiral Mullen, the second objection that we hear over and over and over is that we cannot implement this kind of change in the midst of a war. And I thought you made an excellent point that the opposite may be true, that wartime facilitates change in some ways. And in fact, wasn't President Truman's 1948 order to integrate our forces actually fully implemented during the Korean War?
It was. Actually, it was implemented throughout that. I don't think fully until 1953.
And in fact, on page 83 of the report, it says that when the personnel shortages of the Korean War necessitated integrated units, Army field officers placed white and black soldiers side by side.
Right.
So,
Senator Collins, if I could, I
yes.
think I find it in my study of this somewhat ironic that in the year that this was passed, and if you read the law in detail, there's a great deal of discussion in the law about combat effectiveness at a time where we were not at war. We have been at war. We're in our 10th year right now, and we understand what it takes in combat and what combat effectiveness is better than we did back then just by virtue of that experience. We have changed dramatically as a military since 2001, which I would argue puts us in a good position to facilitate additional change, that there couldn't be a better time to do it. We are better led, in my experience, at every level than we have ever been led. So leaders can do this. We are able to take advantage of our ability to change and sustain that combat readiness, and I believe making a change like this makes us better. It doesn't make us worse.
Thank you.